Okay, and we're back. What's shaking, everybody? It's your boy, King of the Gold State, right behind the camera once again. Coming at you with a haul video from the Berkeley Comic Con. Stuff I picked up. I picked up a lot of stuff, man. I'm going to try and see if I can flow right through it as much as possible. Before we get started, though, be sure to hit the like button. Looks just like a thumbs up. Also, comment down below. Tell me what you think, and also subscribe, man. Let me know what what you think was really cool in this video. So, without further ado, Berkeley Comic Con, man. I got 2 copies of this Wolverine 55. Love this cover swipe, man. I wish I could have the original issue of that book where it's homaged from. It's what is it? Crime Suspense Stories 22, I think, if I recall. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I actually got those for a pretty good discount. It was not the sticker price that he had like for $50, but I got it for a pretty good price, so I was pretty happy about that. Went around to a couple other booths. Saw that they had one guy who I've seen before at the show had stuff for like for a pretty good price on everything he bought, on everything he sells, and everything he had at that booth I couldn't get out of it because he had so much stuff there I could not say no to. Like everything he had, no matter what the price was, whether it was $5 or $100, $20, everything was $5. So I'm gonna try to show some of it. I couldn't get out of it. Because he had stuff for like everything was $5, and he would give me discounts on like everything, like horror comic books. Like Werewolf by Night was like like if it was like $25 or $50, it was still $7. So I was digging around, got a couple copies of Wonder Woman #1, got like Ghost Rider, got some other like stuff here. This is in there. Hawkeye versus Deadpool 0. Got another Wonder Woman bondage cover. Couldn't go wrong with that. First Barbara Minerva as Cheetah. We also got us this is first Barbara Minerva, but this is first Barbara Minerva as Cheetah. Try saying that 20 times fast, if you're sober. Found this in a dollar bin. Preview of Miles Morales, that whole deal. So that was pretty cool. What else did I get out of this guy's bin? This guy's bin was like the bin of bins, for crying out loud. I mean, there was other places where I found good stuff too, but like I said, I found like a whole stack of Ghost Riders, 15s, 46, whatever, 75 for Steel Wind. They got this one here. Some of them, don't get me wrong, some of them were either in really good shape or some may have been in questionable shape. But for me, it didn't really matter because the way it was going, I was like, I can't seem to stop digging out books. So like I found a whole crap load of Spider-Mans, man. Like, so much to stack up on here, guys. Like I had like 258, had a 226. These are like $5 each, man. I got a 225, 200. I was like going nuts, man. I was trying to get to the other booths. I swear to God I was, but it was so difficult. It was so difficult when these things are like at a cheap price. And they're like $5. Like, God, dog. First time Hydra Man team up and become sand, or no, mud. Become mud. You got Amazing Spider-Man 211. You had all these puppies and so forth and so forth. They just kept going, and Spider-Bug, everything, man. I was like a pig in shit, man. I'm not gonna lie. It was fucking. Pardon my term. Pardon my language here, guys. This is like, it was insane. I mean, like, I couldn't get out. I mean, I had to force myself out of there when I came to the realization of how much I was spending in there, and I was like, all right, I gotta go. I mean, like I said, he had Spider-Man's, like 3 copies of like Spider-Man. I think first meetup between Moon Knight and Spider-Man. Had all this stuff here. It's crazy. So much to I'll never forget this one guy was trying to sell me this for like, he was refusing to sell. I think he was trying to sell it to me at a premium, like $20, only because Daredevil was in it. I was like, dude, get out of here. Stop it. But that I found for $5. First Carnage cameo appearance, newsstand for $5. McFarlane. All this stuff, man. This was like unreal. I was like, again, I was just happy. I couldn't believe it. I was like, I couldn't leave. I had to pull away at some point. And then of course he had horror books. which, you know, he gave me a good price on that too. And I was like, God, are you trying to keep me here? Because that's basically what I felt like I was being. I felt like I was being detained or something like that. Because he had stuff like Tomb of Dracula. Like, I think that's a key if I recall. Hannibal King. I got a couple copies of this. Sorry for the angle there, guys. Sorry about that. Silver Surfer. Got 2 copies of that. Had a Tomb of Dracula. 53. Got 68. That was crazy. I mean, like, had some Werewolf by Nights. He had a whole bunch of them. And I just couldn't stop, man. I could not stop. Like, these Werewolf by Nights, I couldn't. I just, like, they're awesome books to have, man. Like, Werewolf by Night. Like, this is one of my favorite covers by Werewolf by Night. Like, all these just kept, like, showing up left and right. I'm, like, going through it, and I was like, oh, my God, this is insane. This may have been the best Berkeley show I've had in a long time. Like, don't get me wrong. There's been some good Berkeley shows. That's another copy. You know? But, I mean, like all these were just insane to me. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. Like, one Werewolf by Night, got the Brute, and these weren't like he gave me a choice to go through this long box of like Werewolf by Nights and like Tomb of Dracula books, and they weren't in high grade. They were like maybe mid to low grade, and so he let me have a hand at it. Just had me just say, just pick out what you want, and they're $7 each, no matter what the price is. And I was like, all right. So I was going through it, man. I was going through it, and when I was done going through that, I was going through some of his premium stuff. Basically, it was like the higher end type of things, I guess. But he had some Silver Age books in there, and I was like, all right, let me check out the silver, you know. And I'm digging through a silver, and lo and behold, I find this, and I was like, hey, man, that's not silver. That's not silver. He said, I'll give you a good price on it. Even though he had a price tag that said like $100 on it, and I told him it's not silver, but the amount of stuff I was buying from him, he was kind of like, yeah, I'll give you a price on it. And he gave me, and the price was reasonable. I couldn't help it. I was like, all right, let's go with that. And then you see, he has some X-Men stuff. What did I do with all that? I think I got all here. But like he had some stuff in that same area, which I guess he misplaced them. And he had X-Men's in there too. So he had some X-Men's here, like Uncanny X-Men 200. He also had 207, 213. He also had 118. I believe it's first Yuriko or Wolverine's wife or whatever. I forgot her name. Yoshiko. I forgot. It was one of the, but it was like I think one of his million wives in there. So I was like, all right. So I was able to get that. Can't go wrong with that, especially when they're in high grade. You got to pick them out. Pull that out. First time that they start calling it the Uncanny X-Men title going forward. You got an Uncanny 145. I could never say no to a Doctor Doom cover, man. But yeah, so I was able to pull some of those out, and I was kind of just blown away by what he had in there. So, I mean, I'm probably not going to be able to go through all this, because there's a lot of stuff here that he had in there. And who knows? I mean, I might put them up online. Who knows, man? But like going through the horror stuff still. I mean, I was still going through horror books that he had in there. Like he had Giant Size Spider-Man and Dracula #1. I was like, what? $7. This thing's in really nice shape too. It definitely got a manufacturer defect or whatever, like right there in the corner. But for the most part, this was actually some really nice shape. So he had that in there for $7. Giant Size Dracula 3 in there for $7. I love the Dracula stuff, man. We got Giant Size Dracula #2. First Yagaran. Yeah, that was pretty cool, man. So like just going through all that was like it was doing it for me, man. It really was, because it's one of those reasons why I think this is one of the best Berkeley cons I've been to like forever. And you know, you don't get these very often, you know. Like Spider-Gwen, the Mark Brooks variant, got 2 copies of that. Like a couple of $5 X-Men's, Uncanny number 176 and 153. The stuff went on and on, man. Oh, this is cool. I actually grabbed these, and I thought these were pretty cool, man. Radioactive Spider-Gwen, the Apocalypse variant. So I was able to pull a couple of those away, and those were like $5 each, man. So it was pretty cool, man. Just grabbing what I could grab, especially before I got even busier or anything like that. I mean, because it was the first Berkeley show we had out here in the Bay Area, like, of the year, and just to go through all that was kind of cool, man. I really enjoyed it. Like, it was Ghost Riders and Werewolf by Nights, and like stuff just went on and on. I mean, like stuff like this, for crying out loud, jeez, back-breaking books basically is what I found. And so, yeah, I mean, like, it was kind of like it started out slow, but things picked up later on. The thing is, I was one of the first ones there, like, just to make sure I get what I could get before anybody else did. But this was a $5 book, you know, in that same booth. It was crazy. I was like, are we kidding here? So I had, you know, so eventually I pulled myself away. I did put a good chunk of dent into the wallet there, but I really got some good stuff, and I was really happy for myself on that. But yeah, so I had to pull myself away. I went to another booth. And did a little digging around. Every time I go to a con, sometimes you just gotta pick this up. You know, it's not a high grade. It's like a near high grade, but you know, it's like every once in a while, I just gotta make it a rule to pick up a copy of X Factor 6 First Full Apocalypse. Ron Friend's cover, man. Ron Friend's is always underrated in my eyes, man. Always underrated. Spider-Woman 1, he ain't doing much anymore, but still, not a bad book to pick up. It's like one of those rules. This is actually pretty surprising. I thought this book would go for a lot more. And this is my first time getting this copy. It was Shauna the She-Devil #1. I didn't have one until today, or until recently. So to get this and see it's all complete and everything, it was like, I was pretty stoked. Window cover and everything. Definitely going to say above a mid-grade for sure. I was just happy to have one in the PC. And I'm trying to make more of a habit to get this book in my collection. Monster Frankenstein, a Mike Ploog cover. I love that cover, man. I love that book. I mean, I got a lot of that bundled up at the show, at a different booth, clearly, for, God, I forgot what I pulled for it. It was something else, but I don't know if this is really a key or anything like that. X-Men Second Coming #1, Chapter 1. It's a second print variant by David Finch. I just like the cover. I just thought it was a cover buy for me. I don't know if it's worth a thing. It probably isn't. But for me, I thought it was a cover buy. You know, so, you know, it was stuff like that. Also, rounding things out, because I got so many books, man. I could go forever. Went to hang out with a couple people I knew at the show, and got this for, you know, I got this group of books for, God, I want to say, he knocked off 100 or something, close to 100 off this. But price tag's still on it. It says 10, but I think I paid together, I think I paid $250 for all of it, which isn't so bad. So I was just digging around just because I had some downtime between booths, you know, where I was just going to check out things, and I went to another booth, and, you know, shout out to Worlds of Wonder, man. They're awesome people, man. Like, they gave me a pretty good price on some of these books here. I think it was $250 or so, $275. So first Jubilee, you got New Mutants Annual #2. I got this for this price for $50 listed on there. I was still astounded. I had to pull that trigger on that one, man. It's probably a mid-grade book. It's got some dog ear action right here, but still. Normally, you know, like a book like this, still, even in the condition it is, fetches for more money. Weapon Alpha and everything. Got always pick this up. Silver Surfer 1. I always love that cover, man. It's one of my favorite Surfer covers of all time. Also, pick this up. Never walk out of the con without a Wolverine 1. Newsstand copy, man. That was really, really cool. And then, same with this. There's always rules, man. There should always be certain books you should never walk out of a con without, you know? Marvel Team Up 141. You know, newsstand copy, too, man. I was real, really happy about that. Also, like, I know the spec on this one's kind of gone now. Madeline Pryor's first appearance. X-Men 168. Still, I love that cover, and it's one of my favorite Kitty Pryde covers, man. I love it a lot, man. And also, I don't know why, I just felt compelled to pick up 2 copies of this. But Uncanny X-Men number 221, first Mr. Sinister. And then I got another one that's signed by Chris Claremont. So I was pretty stoked. I mean, this one's not in the highest grade, but still, it's not bad, man. The signed one was one of those ones I just said, you know, let me get it. It was just an impulse buy, basically. Also, yeah, to round things out, like, I went to go load some stuff in the car. And shout out to Yellow Beanie Comics. I ran into Yellow Beanie Comics. You guys don't know who he is, give him a follow on Instagram. As I go to my car, it didn't take much for me to recognize that it was Yellow Beanie Comics. His car is parked next to my car. And I was like, yeah, that's Yellow Beanie Comics. Because I never met him, but not very often you see a guy wearing a yellow beanie. And it was funny. So, like, I got to meet him, you know, like face to face. It's kind of cool. And he has comics selling out of his car. Almost like you're selling tapes out the trunk and such. You know, for those who are old enough to understand that meaning. So that was pretty cool. So he's sold. I went through a couple of his stuff, and I was almost tapped out. So I figured I'd grab a couple books from him. So he had a Batman 326. I thought that was a pretty cool cover. I like that little, you know, this is the man trying to kill Batman. And then also, can't say no to some war books, man. Weird War Tales, number 44. Joe Keeper cover, man. I really dig it. And yeah, there was that. And also, how to get the romance action, you know, a little 12-cent DC Girls Romance is 92. Nice mid-grade, or actually low-grade, actually. Mid to low-grade copy of that. And so that was pretty cool. Earlier on, just to round things out, guys, earlier on, because like I said, I got so many comics, so much to go through. Oh, almost forgot. Here, I'll throw this at you real quick, guys. Earlier on, I also got this, Forever People number 1. It's a mid-grade book, but I mean, you know, can't go wrong with that, you know, so. But earlier on, the booth next to Worlds of Wonder, Heroes Comics, man. My buddy, Alan, he really, you know, we were talking about we were talking about this one particular book, and I don't have it in my PC yet, and until last Saturday passed. And I was kind of like, I was like, you know what, let me look at it, and I was like, all right, if it doesn't sell by the end of the con, I'll come back and we'll talk about it. So it didn't, and I came back, and I was kind of like, all right, let's do it. Can we do it like this, and possibly like that? And he was cool with it. Alan is a really cool guy, guys. Highly recommend Alan. If you guys check him out over at Heroes Comics over in Campbell, California, check him out. Really, really good vendor, man. Really cool guy. Yeah, so I came back. We made a pretty good deal. And it's not the highest grade, but I mean, black cover is not easy. Comico Premiere number 2. I don't have this in my PC. It's taken me forever. He gave me a really good price on it, and I couldn't say no. We came to a really good deal. There's a couple little ticks on it, but he had it graded as a 7.0. I mean, who knows? It could probably be that. But yeah, man, I'm really, really stoked to have that in the PC. But I would show you guys more, but we'd probably be here for another few hours. I don't want you guys to lose interest in watching this video unless you have already. But that's about it, guys. You know the deal. Be sure to hit the like button, comment down below, and hit the subscribe button. I'm trying to make these videos as often as I can. Till then, I'll talk to you guys in the next video.